I don't know how to start a video, but I'm Hootless, and this is my Q&A video for my 500 subscriber special thing that I promised 6 days ago. I collected questions on last week's weekly update video, and these are all of the questions that I got asked. Joseph Bentley asked Star Trek or Star Wars, and neither, really. Also, not really Lord of the Rings, although in that case I did read the books. I watched one of the new Star Trek movies, but other than that, I haven't seen any Star Trek, and I last saw Star Wars so long ago that I can't even remember seeing it. So that's that. Marina Tucker has 3 questions here. Why did you decide to start a YouTube channel? I decided to start a YouTube channel because it'd be nice to be able to play video games for a living, but also mostly so that I could try to get big enough to play games with my favorite YouTubers. That's basically the entire motivating force behind me having a YouTube channel. Is just trying to get to the point where I can play games with my favorite YouTubers. Second question from Marina Tucker. What's your favorite game of all time? That's really hard. Probably, there's like a few different metrics. We could go by what I've played the most, which would be RuneScape or MapleStory, because I've been really into those since I was 7. We could go with Dwarf Fortress, which is my favorite conceptually, just because it's so extensive and big and everything, and it's free and it's awesome. We could go with Minecraft, which I've also put a lot of time into, and it's pretty good. I still go back to it once in a while, but basically, I don't have one favorite game. I have a lot of favorite games, because I play a lot of games, and I love so many of them. Third question from Marina Tucker. What other games are you thinking about posting? I have no idea. I might post some Bioshock, but that's just this week. I have no idea for the future. Basically, just gonna keep playing things until there aren't things to play. And I have no idea in what order I'll be playing them. Next question is from a person whose name I still can't pronounce. It's like Baptiste Gizelink. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry for butchering it. But she asks, what do you like about RimWorld that keeps you making new colonies? It's very similar to Dwarf Fortress. I can tell that it's not artificial hardness. Like, the game's not being unfair just to be unfair so that you don't win. The game is just unfair. And it's a fine line between artificial difficulty and just actually hard. And when games are actually hard, I like to keep playing them and playing them until I win. And so far, I haven't won in RimWorld, so even if I manage to win, I'm probably going to keep playing it just because I really like the game in general. It's got a nice feel to it. It's pretty fun, especially establishing a new colony is really fun, setting everything up and getting everything running, and then inevitably dying to Manhunter packs. Erik Marcu asks, what are your plans for the future and the channel? I don't really know. I don't even know what's going to be going on in a week, let alone in the future. Ideally, I want to get some collaborations going with some of the bigger people that I like to watch. That'd be pretty awesome if I could get in games with them and, just sort of have a good time playing games with people. That's what I made the channel for, like I said, so maybe that'll happen. Erik Marcu asks, what's some basic info about you? I live in Washington, which is why everything's Pacific Standard Time in terms of when I'm talking about times. I'm 20 years old. I just turned 20 recently, a couple months ago. I don't really know what else to say. I started going to college for a degree, an Associates of Applied Science in Computer Network Administration, and then moved away, like too far away to be able to commute. So I was never able to finish that, and I don't think I can really transfer it, so that's kind of awkward. But that's basically all the information you need, other than the fact that I play video games. But if you're watching this, you already know that, so that's where that is. Next up is That One Kid Is Back. Asks, how did you get your ferret to live for so long? And the reason he asked this is because he knows me in real life, and I had a pet ferret for like 8 years. Basically, it just never left the cage. It just sort of sat in there. Sometimes I'd bring it out to play, but other than that, I just had my room at like roughly 75 or 80 degrees all the time. So he was just super sleepy all the time, didn't really move around, ate a little bit, rolled around a little bit in his cage, and then went back to sleep. So that just went on for like 8 years. I don't know. I guess I took really good care of him. Like, whenever he got sick, I'd take him to the vet, and whenever he was sleeping, I'd let him sleep, and then he'd jump around at night and wake me up, and I'd still let him sleep when he wanted to, instead of waking him up in revenge. Anyways, Nick Moreland asks, would you ever consider streaming live? I would like to stream live. I like the social interaction aspect of it, being able to talk to you guys as I'm playing a game and, have a conversation with you. But the internet where I am is so bad that I can't stream, unfortunately. I get disconnected a lot, and anything more than like a light load on the router will crash it. So, unfortunately, I can't stream live right now, although I want to at some point in the future. Next up, James the Bibarel? The Bibarel? I don't know. Do you enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog? Not really, I guess. I mean, I've played some of the games, but I was more of a Nintendo kid when I was growing up. I had the Nintendo systems, like the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64. I did have a Dreamcast for a while that I played, but I didn't really play it much. So, that's that. I guess. I like Sonic games conceptually, like the older ones. They're still pretty good. They hold up really well because of the art style, but I was more of a Nintendo kid. Next up, Mayrimbas and Madmir both asked, how old are you? And as I answered earlier, I'm 20. I just turned 20 a couple months ago. So, yeah. Mayrimbas also asks, there's two other questions from Mayrimbas, but what's your favorite movie? I don't really have a favorite movie. I have like a list of favorite movies, similar to my favorite games, basically. Movie I've watched the most is probably Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along Blog, which I watched, at least once a day and sometimes twice a day for more than a month straight. So that one, and then there's also Les Miserables, like the musical with, what's his name? Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe. I really love that movie. I know like all of the songs by heart. I think I've mentioned that before. And then my favorite movie that isn't a musical is probably like, I don't know, The Matrix is really good. The first one, of course, the only Matrix movie. But I don't know, I'd have to think about it more, but those are probably at least in my top 5, if not my top 3. Marimbus' other question was, did you draw or design your avatar yourself? No, I did not. I went to a subreddit, it's like r/draw for me or something. I don't know, don't go to that. That might not be what I think it is. But I went to some drawing subreddit and I asked if somebody could draw cartoon owls, and a bunch of people did, and I picked the one that I liked the most and I used that for my avatar. And I should probably give credit to them, but since they just drew it offhand, I don't know. It's also been more than a year since they drew it for me. I had them draw it like ages ago. So I don't really know like even who they were anymore. And I don't know if I could find them. But yeah, I didn't draw it myself. And I might switch it eventually when I get a better one, but for now this one's pretty good. And the final question from Poke5555 is flapjacks? I guess. I'm not really much of a pancake person in general. I mean, I don't like maple syrup, so it's kind of like, it's just kind of gross to me. Maybe I've only had bad maple syrup, but just sort of in general, I don't like it. So when I do eat pancakes, I eat it with peanut butter, which is really good. But at the same time, that's a lot of effort. So instead, I just don't eat breakfast. And that's all the questions that I got. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I might do another one at some point in the future. We'll see. And other than that, just remember to like, comment, share with anybody who you think might be interested in random details about me. And if you aren't already subscribed, I really recommend it. You get awesome content from me every day at 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the least. Sometimes extra content like this sort of thing or other sorts of thing. Who knows? But other than that, I'll see you guys all next time.